Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Karina Joelle if you're new here. If you're not new here, you know I'm still Karina Joelle. So today, as you know by the title of this video, we will be working with the gorgeous James Charles collab with Morphe. The Morphe collab with James Charles. It is a stunning 39 shade palette with such beautiful colors. 39 shades for $39. You really can't beat that. And as you may see online, it is received a little bit of criticism. Some of the shades are really hard to work with. I'm not sure how many shades in the palette. I will put down below how many exactly are pressed pigments. And pressed pigments are a different ball game than eyeshadows to work with. You will see in the video I actually had a hard time with this blue. It's stunning. It has muddled a little bit, but I still think it's an amazing palette. And I did purposely use a complicated shade to show you how it works, kind of trying to work with it. If you are going into this palette specifically for this blue and you want to be able to just swipe it on, blend it out, and go, I wouldn't necessarily say do that. If this palette is not beginner friendly. It's for people who want to put in the time and work with the color to get the most payoff. These pressed pigments are best suited for packing on and getting the most bang for your buck from that color. It's harder to blend them out, and they kind of do bleed a little bit, but if you're trying to create some beautiful rainbow shades and they're going to bleed into each other regardless, then it's fine. I still think this is an amazing palette. I'm obsessed with it. I've done natural looks, I've done crazy looks, I've gotten creative. I think it's an amazing palette. I think it's worth the money. But if you are looking for a palette that you can just swipe on your eye and go, I wouldn't necessarily say it's this palette. I would still look into it though, because it's beautiful. The shades are stunning. I won't need a colorful palette because I got them all right there. Yes, it's harder to work with, but who's not up for a challenge? Not everything in life is just easy. This is the longest intro ever. We're going to get into this video. You can see me create this look. I love this palette. I think that you should maybe look into it. If you're interested in it and you're kind of turned off by the fact that the shades aren't just super, you can swipe and go, I'd say still watch. Just watch a few videos, watch mine, watch others, see how people work with it and they get it to work for them, because I love this palette. I think it's worth it. That's my piece on that. So I'm gonna let this video go on now that we've been talking for 300 minutes. Alright, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you like this look, subscribe. We do have a giveaway coming up. That's all I'm saying on that. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Alright, welcome to a close-up of my face. So the only thing I have on right now is moisturizer, primer. I did my brows. I use a new brow product, so if they look like crazy dark, just know they are. So, when working with the James Charles palette, I found it really difficult to work with the palette with a non-tacky base. So James, in the video he did for the palette, said that he recommended the MAC paint pot. I don't have one of those. I don't plan on going to get one of those. What I did originally is I used the the Morphe, What I originally used when I first used this palette, and as you know I've used it a few times already, I went in with the Morphe eyelid primer and I set it, which I normally do, and I didn't have difficulty because I was using the reds, but when I went in with a concealer and did the blue shades and the purple shades and I had set my eyelid, I could not get anything done. It was just like falling off. So I went back and I watched some videos from different people Specifically, the RawBueatyKristi one gave me the most information. I didn't really look a lot further, but I trust her. I'll link that video down below where she said a lot of things. But I recommend, and since then, using the palette with a concealer, or if you have your choice of eyeshadow primer, just don't set it, use it tacky. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so the first shade I'm going to take in my eye is this beautiful orange shade. And I'm going to take it and just pack it in that crease. Alright, so that's nice and packed in the eye, like on top of the lids. Previously, the first time I used this palette, I used the predominantly like the red shades in the palette. I really had no problems with it. The only problems I had were with the harder shades to work with, which were the blues. So, but we will be using a blue today, and I'll show you kind of my tricks on how to work with that if you are determined. And I know a lot of people saw the blue in the palette or like the purples and they were just like, I need it. So I'm gonna try and do my best to work with that today. I'm going to pat on top and then begin to blend out the orange. I'm going to use the beautiful yellow shade in the palette. Okay, so since I'm going to go back in with, or not back in, I'm going to go in with the blue shade, I'm going to try this, and if this goes horribly wrong, I'll just cry and it'll be fine. I'm going to go back in with a small amount of concealer on the eyelids, almost like you're cutting the crease, just to give the blue eyeshadow its time to shine. It's been a few minutes since I put down the original concealer, and I really want the blue to pop. Alright, so now we have a tacky base, and I'm going to go in with the trickster of all tricksters, this beautiful blue shade right here. So taking a clean brush, I'm going to pack that shade brother, or pack that blue shade onto my eye. And it packs a punch. Alright, so the blue shade is packed on. It needs a little bit of a cleanup, and it has transferred onto the orange, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. So I'm just going to pick up some more, pack it on. There we go. Nice and vibrant. And I almost want to try something. Do I have any sprays? I want to try spraying my brush. This might ruin everything, so let's see. Just get really, oh, in my coffee. So with a wet brush, I'm just going to take a little bit more that blue shade, and the reason I wanted to try wetting my brush is to see if it would help it almost lock it down and not spread upwards. Looks like it almost made a weird like little dark patch right there. But this shade is so beautiful and connect with the orange, like, oh, like how would you not want to do this? I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to go in with the orange shade on top of where the blue was or is and try and clean up that area. And then going in back in with some of that yellow just to blend things out. Now I'm going to do the same with the other eye. Okay, so what you saw me do is I was obviously like the blue is like messed up and like leaked into the orange and the yellow, so it's kind of almost created a green, and that's pretty annoying but not the end of the world. And when I was blending it out, I noticed that like the blue was like patchy. It's just really not like, yeah, it's not like perfect on this eye either. Maybe that's me going in with that extra concealer and then going in with the wet brush and just like too many layers. But you can only do so much. I really think this might just be the best it's gonna be. It's like from a distance. From a distance it looks really nice, but then when you get up close, and I wish my camera would focus so that you could. I hope you can see that. Alright, so I'm going to go work on the rest of my face and then I'll be back so that we can finish up the eyes. Alright, so I went in and did my foundation. Wow, it looks like this. You can't tell on camera, but it looks like this foundation has oxidized quite a bit. It was a perfect skin match and now it's like kind of deepening Anyway, if my camera looks like it's slowly going off center, it's because it is. So let's finish up the other eyes. I have glue drying on some eyelashes right now. Sorry, you can barely see my lips. So yeah, let's finish up the other eye. I contoured, I put some bronzer on, and some blush. So for the under eye, I'm going to probably regret this, but I'm going to take a little bit of the blue shade on a eyeliner brush and just stamp it under, kind of blend it out. Not too bad. Perfect. And then I'm going to take this little small head brush and take that orange shade and just blend it out. Alright, and then I'm just going to throw some eyelashes on real quick. These are the Eyelure collab with Jasmine Brown eyelashes. These are my absolute favorite. They are like almost like a dupe for my House of Lash iconic eyelashes, which I'm a big fan of. Alright, and I haven't highlighted yet because I actually wanted to use the beautiful shimmery shade in the palette that I believe is intended to partially be a highlight. Here, I'll zoom you out for that. So I'm just going to take my favorite highlight brush, bounce in there a little bit, and ooh. I like. Alright guys, this is the finished look using the James Charles Morphe palette. I think it turned out pretty well. It is a bummer that the blue bleeds, but we do know that it is a pressed pigment and not an actual eyeshadow, and there is a difference. So I'll put down below in the description box what the difference is. I'll look into it, I'll do some research. But yeah, overall, I think this is an amazing palette. Look at that color story. It's stunning. I don't think it's beginner friendly. I think a lot of the shades that you're going to want to go in with and go crazy with are not suited for that. They're a little harder to work with, and I'm not a beginner by any means, but I'm not a professional by any means, and I still find it pretty hard to work with. But I find it worth it putting in the work. I think this looks awesome. Yes, it's muddled and bled into the orange, but it's not the end of my world. I still think that the colors are gorgeous and vibrant and stunning, and so many of the shades in that palette, besides like the blue and a few of the other shades, are so great and so easy to work with. I've used it, this is my 4th time using it, and I've done so many great looks with it. If you want to see me do more looks with this palette, if you're interested in purchasing it and you're like, I don't know what I would do, let me know down below, because I would love to do that. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go have some breakfast. You guys have a great day. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. We do have a giveaway series coming, so subscribe. as I said below, maybe just make a YouTube account, subscribe so that I know you're subscribed and you can win some free things. But yeah, so that's that on the James Charles palette. I love it still, even though it's a pain in the butt to work with. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good day.